A very good afternoon to you, Michelle. You're right, we are in Imizamo Yethu in Hout Bay, where these residents have been faced with a lot of challenges when it comes to housing. Last year, there was a massive shack fire which left hundreds of residents here homeless. At some point, they were moved to a sports field temporarily so that the city and national government could find ways in which to properly house them. As MPs in Parliament this afternoon discuss human rights, leading to next week's celebration of human rights on the 21st of March, residents here feel that their human rights have been violated so many times. Let me just show you the conditions in which these people in Imizamo Yethu are living under. For instance, they have one tap where they're using, more than 50 people use the single tap in this specific area of Imizamo Yethu. And if you look down, Michelle, there's no drainage system. You can just see that all the dirt piles up, and obviously this leads to a lot of sicknesses. And with regards to that fire, Michelle, a lot of things were actually damaged. More than just their homes were damaged. There's a line of toilets here that were also damaged during that shack fire. And I'm going to ask my colleague to actually give you a picture to show you that when that fire broke out, toilets also were affected. They're non-functional, as you can see. Right now, residents are telling me that they're actually using one toilet, one flush toilet close there next to that lady. They're using the tab. They're saying to me that that's the only toilet that they can use, one flush toilet for over 50 people here in Imizamo Yethu. And also, Michelle, after that shack fire, the city was also trying ways to try and, obviously move them back to here where the shack fire happened. Other residents decided to come back and build shacks because they couldn't wait for the city's plans, which include super blocking. Now, super blocking is all about the city clearing the area to start the process of rebuilding the homes that were lost during the fire. If you can just if I can just ask my colleague to pan and show you the huge bricks, the city would have to, start really from the bottom to start, this whole super blocking process, which seems to be on hold at this point. Huge bricks that they'd have to move so that they can start rebuilding, which people here say they cannot wait any longer. I'm just going to quickly speak to Zimasa. She's a resident here. She's been living in Imizamo Yethu since 2012. Others say they've been living here since 1992, and they've been living in these conditions since then. Zimasa, what kind of conditions are you living under? I mean, we just showed some of the challenges that you guys are faced with, but I'm seeing a lot of children that are not at school. Why are they not at school?
Abanye kaloku abazange barejistariswe so ke ukuthiwa isikolo sigcwele abantwana abana 7 years ukuya ku11 years abafundi nababethu ke ngobancinci abayi ekrishi ngoba asinalantu zasiphangeli asikwazi babhatalela asisebenzi.
So Niziva Ranjani, about how parliamentarians right now are discussing human rights. Do you feel your human rights to basic housing and basic and decent living has been violated?
Amalungelo thina asinawo tu akhona into esivotelayo satshelwa kudala asinambane asina toilet uyazibona za toilet kwi-toilet eyi-1 kungena abantu abayi-70 siyafola. Asina malungelo thina tu asina mbane asina misebenzi.
Thank you very much, Zimasa. Just to interpret and just to tell you what Zimasa is saying here, that they do not have electricity. Their children, I'm seeing a lot of children running around here. They are not at school. They're saying to us that they cannot afford to take their children at school. Some of them aged between 7 to 11 were told by some local school here that they cannot register because the school is full. So those are just some of the challenges that these people are faced in Imizamo Yethu. And they're saying to us that they do not feel that they have the rights that parliamentarians right now are busy discussing in Parliament.
Question. I mean, parliamentarians can debate to their heart's content, but of course the question is how much materially has changed for the people who live in places like Hangberg and Imizamo Yethu. We've seen officials from the city of Cape Town in this DA-led area in the country only arrive on the scene when there's a shack fire, being criticized for trying to score cheap political points by, at that point, bringing food, blankets, and so on. But for the rest of the year, these people are forgotten about.
That's right, Michelle. And in fact, they just said to me that they will not be voting come the 2019 elections. They feel that politicians just come here to show face and gain votes and gain popularity. But then at the end of the day, during the year, they do not come to see the kind of conditions they live in. And even if they do see the kind of, because it's really, evident, that these people are living in very challenging conditions. But yet politicians come here and they do little to actually change the situations these people live under. I mean, I spoke to one lady here who said that she's been living here since 1992. She gave birth to her child in 1995, and since then she has never seen any change. And throughout the years, Michelle, Imizamo Yethu has been rocked by many shack fires. One obviously that stands out, the one last year where a lot of people were actually affected in that one. But some of these challenges, Michelle, these residents here are saying that politicians are doing little to nothing to make sure that they change their situations for the better.
Athi, we just saw day zero being pushed to next year in that province, with the DA leader announcing that latest development there. In the run-up to that announcement, though, we saw, rightfully so, widespread panic around the implications of day zero. We saw people in the more affluent areas in Cape Town queuing up, getting ready to queue up with their buckets. It was all incredibly difficult for them. We just saw that one tap there being used by residents. This day zero has been a reality for people living there and in so many other places around the country.
Indeed, Michelle. So day zero for these residents and many other communities who are faced by similar conditions say that, day zero is nothing that they do not know. They, for instance, I saw one lady here just getting water from one bucket and moving down. And so for them, queuing for water, challenges relating to water and sanitation and electricity, those challenges are not new to them. Day zero being moved to them does not even affect them because they are actually living day zero every single day.
Absolutely. Well, thanks very much for that crossing from Imizamo Yethu, the Hangberg and Imizamo Yethu communities in Hout Bay.